Once a man came into the Shpola Zaidi, the grandfather of Shpola, tremendously holy Jew. And he said, I've been falsely accused of stealing, embezzling from the government. Please save me. And the Rebbe said to him, a month in jail won't be so bad. So what do you mean a month in jail, Rebbe? Do you know what it is, a jail? Do you have any idea what Russian jails are? I've heard stories, excuse me. I've heard stories about how terrible it is, how dangerous it is. Please, Rebbe, you have to save me. I don't want to go. Give me a blessing that I won't go. So he said, first of all, the Rebbe said, first of all, I know what Russian jail is. I know what a Russian or Polish jail, whatever, wherever they were. I guess city of Spola was in Poland, whatever. I said, I know what the jail, Polish jail is. I know what it is. I've been there before. And I'm telling you, a month is not so bad. Said, you've been in jail? I said, yeah, I'll tell you the story. So what's the story? And I'll tell you why it's not so bad. I, is that one night I was traveling. I had to go collecting money for whatever, for orphans, for widows, for Jews that had been taken, had been kidnapped. And I stopped off at a hotel, a Jewish hotel. A Jewish hotel. I went into the room, and the owner of the place, he showed me my room, and I paid him, and I was just getting ready to go to sleep. All of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. The owner came in and said, "Excuse me, but there's another Jewish person here, another religious Jewish person, and I don't have any more room. Is it okay if he just sleeps where you are?" So I looked. I saw a person, a religious Jew, has a beard. He's dressed, with tzitzis and everything. I said, okay, but I wake up early in the morning, and this person said, "Oh, don't worry, I wake up earlier than you." So I said, okay. So he came into the room. It was already late. I had already prayed. I did everything. And I turned off the lights. He got ready. He laid down in the bed and went to sleep. Early in the morning, he wakes up. I woke up in the morning. And this fellow was already gone. He was already gone. The other person was with me. And so I got myself ready, washed my hands and I said blessings. I got ready to start to pray. I put on tefillin. I was going to pray. All of a sudden, the door bursts open. There's two big policemen. There's one man standing in front of them. He's pointing at me and says, "That's him, that's him." The owner of the hotel is standing behind them. The policemen grab a hold of me. They they throw me in the corner, tie my hands behind my back, tie my legs, and they start to search around the room. And sure enough, they find a spoon, a silver spoon under my bed. And he says, "That's it. That's it. That's one of the spoons from my house. He stole my silverware. Stole my silverware. Thousands of dollars worth of silver, stole the thing." So suddenly I realized what happened. That person who came in and seemed to be so religious, so innocent, he was really a thief. And he had stolen from this guy's house. And he wanted to put the blame on me so that they wouldn't search for him. He would be able to get away, and he would sell the things that he stole from my house. He would sell them somewhere, get rid of them. So they threw me into a wagon. Took me down to court. They had the evidence. Everything was against me. They threw me into prison. Luckily, they threw me into prison where they let me take my tefillin with me. I got into the prison, and I was praying to God, "Please help me, God." And I realized, my situation is like the same thing as like Yosef Atzadik, thrown into prison. I'm praying. And so that one of the prisoners comes over to me, and he said, "Okay, if you want to be safe in this place, you have to pay us money." And so I said, "I feel safe. I feel safe. I'm with God." He said, "Listen, you're not safe from us. If you pay whatever is 5 rubles, then we'll leave you alone. You pay 10 rubles, you could be one of us. We'll let you in the group." So I said, "Listen, I don't have money. And if I did have any money, I wouldn't give it to you. And I don't want to be one of you. And I'm not afraid of you. And you're not going to do anything to me." And he said, "Oh, yeah, well, we'll see." And he pulled out a big bar, a metal bar to beat me with. And he lifted it up, and all of a sudden he started to scream. this non-Jew. He started to scream. When did he start to scream? Then suddenly the bar became red hot, and nobody could take it out of his hand. They didn't know what to do. They threw him on the ground. He's screaming. The guard came along, threw water on him, The man passed out. The doctors, whatever came, and took him away, and that's it. Never saw him again. And then nobody ever touched me. That's it. After that, no one would touch me. Everybody was afraid. No, so I was doing my prayer, my praying, and my learning. I learned whatever I could by memory. And I noticed that there was a boy that was watching me, one of the prisoners. He was watching me all the time, maybe 17 years old, 16 years old, watching, all the time watching me. And one day, I went over to him and I asked him, can you tell me, why are you watching me all the time? Is there a reason? And he said, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are these boxes you put on your head? I said, I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew. And and the boy said, a Jew? What is this, a Jew? So I explained to him from Abraham, from Isaac. I said, why are you so interested? And so the boy said, well, my mother told me that she's a Jew. She got married to a gypsy, and they taught me how to steal. And I was really good at it. I stole horses. I was excellent at it, stealing horses. But one day they caught me. And that's it. They put me in jail. Now I'm here in jail, maybe for the rest of my life. I don't know how. So I said, you're Jewish. He said, okay, put on tefillin. So I put tefillin on him. I started teaching him Aleph Beis. He learned very quickly. I taught him how to read Aleph Beis and how to read a little bit. One night I went to sleep, and Elijah the prophet came to me. Story from the Shpola Zedi, the grandfather of Shpola. Elijah the prophet came to me and said, tomorrow you're leaving. Tomorrow you're leaving with that boy. So wake him up, tell him to grab onto your belt. He had a belt, sash, put a sash on, and you're leaving. Don't worry about it. So I woke him up in the nighttime, and I told the boy, hold on to my belt, be after me. And all of a sudden, all the guards fell asleep, and all the doors opened up. The doors of the prison opened up. We went through every door and closed it behind us, and that's it. We left. And that young man, he eventually went out. I put him into a yeshiva to learn, and he became a scholar, and he's a rabbi somewhere now. He said, all of that was because I was put into prison. He said, the same thing is going to be with you. You're there, if you're going into prison for a reason, right? For a reason. You're there, it seems a bad thing, but you're there to do something good, to save someone, to help someone, to inspire someone. So to be in prison for 1 month is not so bad, and don't worry about it. The criminals there will leave you alone just like they left me alone. So the story comes to tell us that, of course, we're not the same level of holiness as the Shpola Zedi, but on the other hand, God has more mercy on us now in our generation, and we're in a terrible exile. We're in prison, all of us, terrible exile. But the reason that we're here is in order to be steadfast and positive, and by means of that, we will take out of the exile good things, and we'll put good into the exile so that it'll all be transformed with Mashiach now. God willing, tomorrow at 8:15, there'll be a class. So we'll learn a class. So looking forward to seeing you all. 8:15, thank you for coming. Menachem, and God bless you all with only good news, a lot of good news, and a lot of health and success and happiness. Shalom, uvracha, Chanukah Sameach, last day of Hanukkah, and have a good month, everyone.